Welcome to the Game Changer podcast. Today's topic, preparing for the final Shield Maiden immersion. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Top of the morning, welcome back. This is the Game Changer podcast with Setema Gali. You guys better get your minds right and get up and let's go. See, it's more than the game that we changing.
It's great to be with you guys. Thank you for listening. If this makes a difference for you, you know what to do. Go give us a rate and review on iTunes, Spotify, like and subscribe on YouTube. Take a screenshot and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Let's go. It's crazy. Just a few moments ago, I was making a post on Instagram, and it was about the final chapter of Immersion, the program for women called Shield Maiden. Shield Maiden, where did that term come from? Well, you gotta understand it was a term for a Viking queen. And I get, right, there's people out there that make fun of our ads. Oh, I'm not a Viking. There's no such thing as Vikings. Like, to those who mock, you're obviously not listening to my podcast. So for those who understand the terminology and the imagery, right, these are powerful women. These were women who are more than just, hey, I'm going to stay and bake. They could bake, but they could pick up the sword and go to war. They could defend. They could negotiate. They could conquer. And they could come back and sit on the throne and lead with beauty and elegance. We have 14 women rolling into Shield Maiden this next week. It's the final one. We started this program 8 years ago, where 12 women took a step forward for the very first one, and we've been running this program for 8 years. Shield Maiden is a 3-week excursion, 2 weeks of what we call the underground, right? It's intense, about 12 hours of intense training that you go through before you show up in the 2 to 3 weeks leading up to. And then when you show up to immersion, right, we go from Monday all the way till Thursday late, and it is intense. Now, people, they see us doing these events. We have Shield Maiden for the women. We have Titan for the men. We have Stage Speaking Boot Camp. We have Certified Master Coach. We do Game Changer. Again, there's a number of programs that we run, and what's the preparation that goes into this? So you got to understand, first of all, while we're having the women and the men, right? Shield means the women. We have them prepare. They listen to about probably 12 hours. And by the time they're done listening and talking and teaching, they've probably gone through 25 to 30 hours of rewiring in their paradigm and their perspective. While they're doing that, from our side, I'll tell you what happens. Like, our whole team knows this. And then I get a little emotional because I share this with the team. I'm like, look, we know we got, right, this next week, we got 14 women rolling in. 14 women, 14 mothers, 14 wives. And, and if they're not, they don't have kids, they're still a woman. They're still a leader. They're still someone who has a job or runs a business. 14 incredible lives whose lives hang in the balance, where there's so much on the line. So how we prepare, I listen to a good, probably 10 to 15 hours of these women, right? This is our preparation, the lead up to what we call the underground. I get to know who these women are. I get to know their voices. We as a team, we do what's called a pre-brief. Like, this isn't just where you show up. Like, this is like a football game where we're scouting, we're reporting, we know who's coming in the room. As a team, we sit for about 2 hours and we pre-brief. We talk about the women showing up. We talk about their heart and their desire. We talk about why they're coming to immersion. We pray, we meditate, we reflect on how we can best serve the women in the room, because I know when a woman enters into my atmosphere, into my ecosystem, into my world, I got one shot to move, to touch, to lift, and to inspire this woman. I got one shot. Because I go so hard in the game of immersion. Like, if this was the last chance that I got to influence this woman who's a mother, again, we got women coming in here who have kids at home, they got a husband at home, they have employees at home, and so much hangs in the balance. I know we got to get ready for them. So from the sleep, the hydration, the nutrition, from what we do with it as a team, and knowing who these women are, knowing what the pain points are, understanding what they want and why it matters. We go into this world of preparation. I visualize myself with these women. I can see their faces. I can see their names, their first, their last name, their city and the state that they are from. We look at the application of why they applied to be in immersion. And as a team, we prepare the shuttles, the food, the schedule, the entire experience. Now, from the outside looking in, it just looks like this intense boot camp. Whoa! Have you ever wanted to change your mind, like really transform your mindset so you can get a different result? If you have and you have failed in doing so many other things, I invite you to join us for our 2-day in-person event. It's called Unstoppable Mindset. And that URL is mind, M-I-N-D, live, live.com, mindlive.com. Once again, that is mindlive.com. That is our 2-day in-person event. Now, if you're like, Setema, I can't make it in person, guess what? We also have virtual tickets, and nobody does virtual like us. Check that out right now, Unstoppable Mind, which is mindlive.com. But behind the closed doors, it is a very spiritual, very intellectual, very emotional, rigorous experience of transformation. We've had women come through here who are $150,000 in credit card debt, barely surviving, wipe that out within 6 months after coming to immersion. We've had women come in here who'd go home and lose 60 to 70 pounds and keep it off. Go create 7 new streams of income, go create a 7-figure net worth, and pay off their 6-figure car, their 7-figure home. We've had women come through here whose marriage was on the rocks, go home and re-energize and revitalize and reset agreements and boundaries. We've had women come in here who were like ready to just give up, floundering and lost, to go home and then add a 0 or 2 to the gross revenue of the company. And I could go on and on about the relationships, the family, the peace, the tranquility, the serenity, the fulfillment, and the purpose. Why do I share this on a podcast? Because what we do in our organization, Gamechanger, is we help you to change the game. We help you to find and fulfill your purpose of living. We help you to get clear and real and honest about what you want. We help you to develop a competency and to take the leap of faith with courage. So often people lack courage. And in the preparation leading up to immersion, right, early mornings where I'm up typically about 4:30, and I'm going to bed between 11 and 11:30. It's intense, right? This is not some seminar. This is not some symposium. This is not some workshop. This is the most transformational experience that a woman, Shield Maiden, or a man for Titan can go through. It like opens you up. And we take out all the non-workable programs that just, they're outdated. They're built on faulty, sandy foundations, non-truths, things that, you were trained, taught, and educated. And got passed down, right? The example of that, it's a good old story, right? Probably heard this before, but I love this story. There's like a young lady who sees her mom cut the ends of a ham off, puts it in the pan, and puts it into the oven. And she's like, why do you do that? She's like, I don't know. My mom did it. So she calls grandma up. Grandma, why do you cut the ends of the ham off? She's like, well, I don't know. My mom taught me. Now, luckily, great-grandma was alive. So a young girl calls great-grandma. And she's like, hello. She's like, hey, this is old Sally Ann, great-grandma. Why do you cut the ends of the ham off? And great-grandma says, well, in my day, the pans and the ovens were small and the ham was too big. So in order for the ham to fit, we had to cut the ends of the ham off to make it fit in the pan and in the oven. That's crazy, right? This gets passed down from great-grandma to grandma, grandma to daughter, daughter to daughter. And unless the young daughter asks the question, we have and you have paradigms and principles and, quote, truths that are not even true, that are not even real, but they were just what you were trained, taught, and educated to believe. Imagine that. Imagine coming to a program such as Immersion and having your whole world transformed, getting rid of the faulty programming, like iOS. I just updated, I think it's iOS 17. I don't even know which one, but it's amazing. Like we constantly update and upgrade our paradigms, our perspectives to make sure we are rooted in true and workable and useful eternal principles to guide us and to lead us so we can walk with courage, so we can walk in the path of fulfillment. By the time immersion is done, these women leave so empowered. They leave more than with just fluff and motivation. We have a curriculum. Imagine that, doing this thing for 10 years and the game of Shield Maiden for 8 years. There's an entire curriculum that is proven, from the principles to the freedom protocol to the models of selling and marketing and connection and relationship, how to deal with stress, how to deal with adversity, programs, processes, tools, an entire library and vault of curriculum that allows someone to come through immersion and to completely transform their life. So that's what it looks like when we do immersion. By the time the week is done, we finish Thursday night, Friday, the unwritten, unspoken rule, nobody comes into work. Now, I still come into work because that's what I do. Come in, get some things done, have some calls. But our team reconvenes on Monday, which is a 3-day weekend for us, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we get back to work on Monday. And that's immersion. For those of you listening to this, obviously immersion's done for Shield Maiden, right? There's no spots. There might be some spots for Titan, but I think we're also filled there. So if you've ever come through my programs, thank you. Thank you for taking the leap of courage and the leap of faith. Thank you for having the belief in yourself to take that step. Thank you for having the discipline, right, to move those feet towards the desires of your heart so that you can build not only a life, but a legacy for your children. And to all those who are coming to immersion, it's time to go to work. Hey guys, if the podcast resonates, if it touches your heart and soul and it gives you greater vision and clarity to go build the life you want so you can make a difference inside of your world, your family's world, and the community itself, all I ask that you do is share the podcast forward. We don't run ads, we don't have sponsors, but we can make a difference and help people become game changers for their lives, for their families, if we share the message. So share this with somebody who needs to hear it and have an amazing day. I love you. I appreciate you listening. And until next time, have an amazing, blessed day. I'm out.
Let's go. See, it's more than the game that we changing. We don't do it for the block, do it for the name. Yeah. No, there ain't no stopping it. If you really want it, better rock with it. This is how to be a game changer. Better put your pride down, heavy, get your pen up. Wanna be the greatest, we ain't stopping till we win, yo. This is how to make it when they hating, we ain't worried what they saying. This is how to be a game changer.